Hey guys, this is NP Pokemon and welcome to the channel. This is a CGC Returns video. Now usually I am a PSA enthusiast and loyalist, but CGC is definitely a nice place to go here lately, especially for kind of like modern low-end cards, I think. And, stuff that isn't going to break the bank, you can always cross-grade later, but I really like CGC and their service, and I do like their slab. So anything moving forward that's just like a 25th anniversary promo that's not going to bring super high dollar, I'm pretty much going to go with CGC. Definitely still going to be grading a lot with PSA. I have some subs still waiting for them. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the CGC video. This is going to be part 1 because these are my cards, and then I have some friends' cards and other people's cards in the part 2 of this video. So I just want to show off my stuff right here in this part 1 video. So this is only going to be about 16 cards. Part 2 is going to be like over 50 cards, so keep an eye out for that. First up, we have a Pikachu McDonald's promo. Now, these guys are pretty tough to grade because they were all bouncing around in those packages, so I'm definitely going to be showing off their flaws. Now, a lot of them is centering, and CGC is pretty strict since they're on the 0.5 grading system. You can see all of the subgrades on these cards right up top. So surface is kind of understandable with the cards sliding around. However, the centering is really tough to say unless you really have a tool. Might be shifted left to right with this. And we can maybe kind of see it on the back a little more. So there you have the Pikachu. Next up, of course, we can't keep going without making a complete set. So these first few cards are definitely going to be a McDonald's set. So it looks like we got some residue left on the case, but wipes off very nicely. Here we have an 8.5 centering. You can definitely see this one is a little more shifted to the right. But yep, definitely see it shifted to the left on the back. So overall the card is pretty shifted there. Makes sense for the centering there. However, CGC is known to be pretty harsh. So here we have the Charmander. Now the Charmander got an 8 on the surface. I'm going to have to really take a closer look at some of these under the scope just to see, because this one got a 9 on centering. The centering on this one actually looks really good. Might be that same shift, which, maybe all these cards got kind of unlucky with all that. But Charmander looking sad with the 8.5. It looks like all of his friends got the 9. We got the 9 Pikachu. We got the 9 Bulbasaur. 8.5 on the sad Charmander. Because the Squirtle is next, and we did get a 9 on the Squirtle as well. Looks like these are 9s across the board. I really want to know some opinions on the centering for CGC. Now, I don't know if the logo kind of throws off some people with that. But, yeah, just let me know, guys. Have you guys really experienced CGC with their centering? And what's your guys' thoughts on that? So here we go. You can actually see some of the hollow and the text there. I'm not sure if these all bleed like that. Yeah, maybe so. I'll have to take a closer look when I'm off camera here. But overall, I want to make this kind of a semi-quick video. Now, these next 4 cards, I'm going to kind of go through semi-quickly because they are the same cards. We got 9s across the board. PSA, or not PSA, CGC 9 Mint Pikachu. Now, a lot of people would pretty much agree that a 9.5 in CGC is pretty much a PSA 10 with certain circumstances being special to that. Here we have a Bulbasaur, and this is really kind of brutal. When you get a 9.5 and an 8, the 8 really drags it down to an 8.5. So they're really not doing you any favors on the subgrades with these. But, I kind of like it. I really like the chase. I like how it's really hard to get that 9.5 and especially the 10 in CGC, as you will see. But here we have another sad Charmander, another 8.5 lonely Charmander. But yeah, really overall excited about this return. I do love the CGC cases. Here we have the Squirtle rounding it out. And you can kind of see what I mean. You know, I kind of go with CGC on some of these lower end cards. These McDonald's cards are really cool. They're really cool to have. And they are just going to be such a joy to look back on. All those memories chasing, you know, the McDonald's packs and all that. Same goes for this General Mills. You know, a lot of hype around all these cards because it was peak in the Pokemon fever of 2020 into 2021. So these cards to me are just really special, and I definitely wanted to have a copy of my own to keep aside and look back on down the road. So nothing really too fancy enough to send off to PSA, but this is where CGC is really, you know, the way to go in my opinion. These small cards, especially with PSA closed right now, and you know when PSA opens up, their prices, especially for cards like this, might be a little too steep for the bulk category. But you know, these guys you can send in $5 to $10 and get a really nice looking encapsulated card. So really good there. For these Pikachus, I sent in a few. They all got 9s. Let's see what the best one is here. So we got 9s across the board. Now, this is where it's really messed up. This one got two 9.5s, but because of the two 9s, they round down, as you say, or as you will. You know, this one got an 8.5. That's understandable, but this case in particular is really brutal. When you get that one 9.5, it really just drags everything down. In this case, there's two 9.5s, and it still doesn't do any favors. So instead of being a 9.5, overall grade is a 9, which is still mint, still a great card, and we can't really complain there. Here we have the 2020 Japanese Sword and Shield Charizard card from the Pokemon Center pack purchase. I love this artwork, and I definitely wanted to have a encapsulated version of this card. Once again, it's kind of a pretty cheap card, not really worth sending into PSA at this moment, but glad to have the 9. And if we look at the next card, ooh, we actually got a 9.5 on the Charizard here. It's got a 10 on the corners and just a 9 on the centering. So again, centering is killing us, and these both have a 9 on the centering. Let me actually center them in the camera for you guys. Sorry, not really paying attention. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to, you know, this one's centering actually looks a little better, so I kind of agree with the 9 on that. But maybe this one over here deserves a 9.5 on the centering. I'll have to take a closer look. Let's take a look at the back. It's really hard to tell with these Japanese cards because they don't have like a defined border like the English cards do. You know, as you can see, it's just kind of a faded border where these guys have actually, you know, defined lines on it, which make it easier to differentiate, in my opinion. But yeah, really happy with the 9.5 on this guy. It just sucks I couldn't have 2, you know, that centering on that other one. If that was a 9.5, that would have been another 9.5 Charizard overall. But yeah, what can you do, guys? And lastly, now these 3 cards here that I'm going to show, this was kind of like a test. These are old WotC cards that came in magazines, I believe, and they are actually the Wizards of the Coast stamped, W-stamped promo cards. Now, first off, we have a War Turtle, and I did not do subgrades on these. Kind of wish I just would have went ahead and do it because they were kind of a low grade. But I was expecting them to be low. I didn't want to really spend any more money than I had to. Just cool to get them encapsulated. And I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with these guys. But as you can see, there's nothing really major wrong, like to the blind eye. Maybe I am blind because I can't really see much of anything. There's some corner damage and all that, but yeah, this was kind of a test because I've never sent in Wizards of the Coast cards with CGC before. As you can see here, we got another W-stamped War Turtle. So this guy's pretty cool. He is one of my favorite cards. I just love the War Turtle. I love the War Turtle Air, where there's War Turtle in the Stage 1 box. Just overall, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and I just love the way these look. So yeah, these guys were just kind of sitting around. They were almost kind of a test, and as you can see with this next card as well, it is another W stamped. This W is actually down here by the attack. This is the Brock's Vulpix. This came out of a Top Deck magazine. This one came out of Top Deck magazine also. Couldn't remember if they were the same magazine or not. But I think there's like a handful of these W stamped cards. So maybe go check that out. I want to say 6 off the top of my head, but don't take that for certain. But yeah, Brock's Vulpix, always a cool card. Sorry, we got some glare coming in from the sun. But yeah, overall, these guys got a low grade in my opinion. And they look pretty good. I mean, like I said, I probably won't be sending any WotC cards into CGC. I just wanted to send these 3 just to kind of be a test on how they, you know, kind of treat these guys if they were kind of similar in grade. So I'll be definitely taking a closer look at these 3 guys in particular for the future. But yeah, like I said, with WotC guys, it's pretty much only going to be PSA for me. So that's my stack of returns. Nice little CGC stack to do me over until, you know, the PSA submissions come back. So let me know what you guys think. A lot of these will be for sale. So if you see anything particular and you're not watching this video like a year later, just let me know and maybe we can work out a deal. So, yep, thanks guys. We'll see you later. Peace.